Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube, where I'm joined by Luke again, and we're going to be previewing Crystal Palace and Tottenham. Now this is a big game. It's a local derby, and obviously last time out, Palace played last week in a local derby against Chelsea and lost 3-1. How do you think that's going to impact this game going into another big derby against Tottenham?
Well, obviously, when it's a derby, every team wants to raise their game. But for Palace, if they're being realistic, surviving's their main aim this season. So they will probably take this game as a bonus game, So if they lose, it's not going to be the end of the world. But obviously, if they lose out, there'll be 2 defeats on the bounce, and then maybe that might derail momentum. But Palace have got a good team. They've got some good players. The fullbacks are good. Patrick Van Aanholt. You've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, good young right back. And then you've got the midfield, which is Milivojevic, their club captain. He's a good player. And then you've got the front line. Wilfried Zaha is key. It's key for Palace. Without Wilfried Zaha, Palace are not a good team. Not a great team. They struggled without him. That was probably one of the reasons why Frank de Boer got sacked last season, because he didn't have Wilfried Zaha. So Wilfried Zaha is key. If he plays well, Palace plays well. But if he doesn't play well, then you struggle to see where they're going to make a difference, apart from set pieces.
So you're looking at Tottenham last time out. They had it turned out to be a hard-fought 3-2 victory against Wolves. They looked casual, 3-0 up until the last 20 minutes or so, and they conceded 2 penalties and only just held on for a win. Obviously, Tottenham going into this game will be favourites. They're a very strong side. Not quite, as you already said on the Let's Talk Sports radio show, not a big club, but they are obviously knocking on the door of the big club status.
Yeah.
Obviously, the favourites. Can you say anything other but a Tottenham win? Or should I refresh it? Tottenham dominating this game.
Well, Tottenham should dominate this game. I think they dominated the Wolves game. Obviously, they conceded 2 penalties in the second half. I think it was Juan Foyth gave away those 2 penalties on his Premier League debut. So you should expect Spurs to dominate. And I know I said Spurs aren't a big club, but they are transitioning into that big club status with the new stadium and stuff like that. But Spurs need to win this game to keep up with the running pack. I know everyone said, Spurs have been not very good this season. This has been Spurs' best ever Premier League start. Ever. And if it was any other season, Spurs would be right up there, top of the league. But it's just unfortunate for them. They've got a freak of nature called Manchester City running away with the league. That sort of dampened every Spurs fan. The money bags, yeah. The money team. But yeah, Spurs should win this. Harry Kane is key. I know, obviously, before Harry Kane got injured, Kane was probably the best striker in the world. Best number 9. He was having 0.7 goals a game, which is up there with the elite. But now he's sort of dropped down. Since his ankle injury, he's not had a proper rest. So his goals per 90 is dropped down to 0.4, which is still good. That's nearly a goal every other game. But that's a big drop-off from that elite level where he he scored 40 goals in the season, which is the third player to do it since Ronaldo. Obviously, Mo Salah did it last season. So once Harry Kane gets fit and firing again, Spurs will be right up there. But it's not the forward line that's a problem. It's a midfield and the defence. Because obviously, Moussa Dembele is declining. He's fell off a cliff from last season, where he was grabbing the ball, transitioning, really moving the Tottenham play quickly. But he's just completely gone. He's gone. He's not that same player anymore. And plus the defence looks a bit shaky. Still, obviously they had Foyth in against Wolves. Alderweireld's not really come back as he was. Vertonghen's injury record's getting worse. Davinson Sanchez, who I think great bit of business from Ajax. He's a great defender. But when you've got a goalkeeper like Lloris, which is declining, he's declining rapidly. He's making more mistakes than he was. You can sort of see that in the World Cup final, where he gave Croatia a goal. It was Loris Karius-esque mistake. But yeah, so if Palace can target that defence with Wilfried Zaha, then they could get a bit of joy. But Spurs should be winning this quite comfortably.
Let's talk about a guy that, obviously, people who watch these videos know that we're both Liverpool fans. Let's talk about a guy that haunted us for 6 months back in 2010, Roy Hodgson.
The Hodgesaurus.
The Palace manager. How would you look at this game tactically from a Palace point of view? You just said about exploiting the Spurs defence. Would you say it's fair to go defensive, or would you say, as a Palace manager, as Hodgson, you go away with your defensive tactics for this one game and think, right, we've got nothing to lose here, let's go all-out attack and let's target this defence and see what we can get out this game?
Well, if they do that, they run the risk of getting picked off and it to be like an absolute mugging by Spurs. But they've got two good fullbacks, as I said. So if they sat deep and frustrated Spurs and then break really quickly with the pace of Townsend and Zaha, and you got the fullbacks of Wan-Bissaka, who I think is a quality young right back, one to look out for. But if they can exploit that on the break, because Spurs like to push up their fullbacks high, Ben Davies and Kieran Trippier will probably be the two fullbacks. Trippier is not great defensively. He's great as a wing back, but as a right back, he could be exploited. So if Zaha's on the left, Kieran Trippier better watch out, because he'll be exploiting every space. You see his trickery. He won the penalty against Arsenal to bring it back. Like, of course, some people say he dived, but obviously should be making challenges like that in the box. But he's the key player. Like, if you can run at that Spurs defence and exploit Kieran Trippier being out of position, I reckon that Palace could get some joy.
I'm going to bring up a man that's not been mentioned much. He's not really had the best of times since he's arrived from Liverpool to Crystal Palace. Christian Benteke.
Okay.
You're looking at him, he's not getting much game time, he's not performed well enough. Obviously he scored against Chelsea last season and in a couple of games, but obviously this season he's yet to score for Palace, if my stats is correct. Do you think this is the sort of game with Spurs' defensive weaknesses from set pieces where if Palace put him in, he's going to come to the fore and he's going to score for Palace and he's going to perform and put in a big performance? Or do you think Christian Benteke is past it and Palace need to move on and sign a different attacking forward?
Like, when Benteke was at Aston Villa, he was a good player. He was a good player. Like, he was powerful. I remember when he absolutely destroyed Liverpool, Benteke. But honestly, that Liverpool move sort of derailed him.
Benteke's injured. So we're playing
Yeah, and plus Benteke is injured. As Colin said, breaking that fourth wall yet again. Yes, so he won't be playing at all. So, like, if
let's rephrase the question. Hypothetically speaking, if he weren't injured,
I don't think he'd make a difference at all. I think he's a donkey. He's worse than Lukaku. His touch is just as bad.
Fair enough. Can we have a score prediction?
4-1 Spurs.
4-1 Spurs.
Harry Kane hat-trick. Get back up there, top of the goal-scoring charts. Colin Kane.
Okay, so that was our prediction preview for Spurs versus Crystal Palace. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and let us know your thoughts on this game. Don't forget to subscribe, like I said. I'll see you again very soon.